Stephanie Straw with Board Game Geek. Also, Eric Martin, the famous, the bearded. And most importantly, Mike Seliger. We are going to be talking about Betrayal at House on the Hill, the expansion Widow's Walk by Avalon Hill.
Yep. Lone Shark Games and Avalon Hill decided to come together to make this. I've been 12 years since I worked on Betrayal at House on the Hill, and nothing had come out for it. And just felt like the right time to go back and go back to the house.
Okay.
Right? So
and you've been working on this for 12 years, right?
I mean, in a certain sense, yeah. I mean, like, not like every day I wake up and design a new room tile. Like,
but really, you kind of do.
But yeah, like, it's been percolating in my head for years, and things have changed. I mean, we learned how to write cooperative games since then, right? Like, we've learned a lot has changed about horror, a lot has changed about who we work with. I mean, the crazy collaborators that we have, just all those kind of things came together, and it was like, yeah, we got to do this again. We are also working on this game Apocrypha that you guys have been kind enough to preview, and it's a modern horror game too, so we went back to Betrayal and said, what made that game tick? And then we went, wait, we really like this game. Why aren't we making more of this?
Yeah.
Right? So,
and it's a game that begs for an expansion.
Yeah,
tiles,
absolutely. You know? And you know, a lot of people have played the same haunts over and over again. We want to give them something new.
Yeah.
So should we show people what's in it?
Yeah, so what's new in this game?
Okay, well, let's start up at the top here. So we have new cards. So the cards are yes, absolutely. No, they're totally legit. Okay. So we have.
You can add these directly to your deck, same backs and everything. Of course.
This is my favorite card in the game. It is the chainsaw, and it says if you make chainsaw noises, add one die to your might roll.
I like that.
Because who doesn't like making chainsaw noises? Yeah, exactly. Okay. But yes, there's all sorts of new cool things we have that we put in. A couple of references here or there. We have a boomstick now.
Yes.
The tribute to the shaky cam horror genre.
B-run horror movies.
Right,
yeah.
exactly. So we got those, some great new stuff. We realized that we had accidentally made the card after the game's the word Sex Panther from Anchorman, because 66% of the time this cat is good. It works every time. Yeah. So anyway, so got lots of more cards. That's good. Now, Betrayal at House on the Hill didn't have enough tokens. I think everybody can agree that what it needed was more tokens, right? So we added a bunch of new things. We have obstacles now. We have new monsters, and most importantly, we have these little explorer tokens, which come into the game very importantly. They track your progress. If you picked up something along the way, you can now mark that you did it. If you turn into a werewolf, you can now mark that you're a werewolf. All that kind of stuff.
If you have a cat, you can now mark that you have a cat.
You do have a cat. That's not the nicest cat in the world.
A head.
Yes. Well, everyone starts with a head, but there's no guarantee that it stays on the table. Anyway, so let's see. We got that. We got some new rooms. We got new room tiles, and these were really fun to make. The original artist Scott Okamura came back to do these, and they look fantastic.
Yeah, they do look really good.
So
I love finding different details in the rooms.
And actually, a bunch of the haunts actually care about what's on the tile, right? So you have to look real closely at the tiles. So we got
the Zoom Guild.
Yes, so we've got, and you can see named after the expansion, there's a Widow's Walk and a treehouse and all that. I've been asked for many years one question more than any other.
It's about the pool.
Yes, the underground lake is always on the highest floor in the house. No, the question I've been asked is, why is there no bathroom in this house? And so now there's a bathroom. And of course it's a spooky bathroom. So,
people were really wondering. They wanted realistic
asked over
house.
and over again, like every convention I got asked that question.
Okay.
So we got some new things on the tiles, dumbwaiters that allow you to move from floor to floor, just various things. But here's the most interesting thing about the rooms. There's a roof now. There's a new floor, and all sorts of crazy things happen.
Cool.
Things happen outside the house in this game now. You can go outside the house. Yeah, birds and stuff. There's a panic room. And then my favorite thing about the expansion, of course, is all the new stories that we get to tell. So if you can grab the box there.
Yep.
I didn't make this alone. I grabbed. I know you won't be able to zoom necessarily in on this,
No.
but
We zoom out to see the whole list, and then you can't read them.
Of course.
They're very small.
But I mean, you can see that they're very small names. But I got all my friends who really love Betrayal at House on the Hill to participate. So I got Max and Eli, who made Cards Against Humanity. I got John Gilmore, who made Dead of Winter. I got some media friends like Pendleton Ward of Adventure Time, and Angela Weber of the Double Clicks, and Anita Sarkeesian, and Zoe Quinn, and just all sorts of people you would not imagine being in this game, but I decided to put them in, and they all loved it. So we made some crazy things, which specifically we made these. So, yes, let's clear that out. Here's the giant new haunt table that covers everything in the book.
Yeah.
And then there are the haunts. So here are all the people that made all the haunts. All the bios there.
We don't want to spoil the haunts.
No, we're not going to do that. And here's a list of them. But, I mean, there's some crazy stuff in here. So we've got my friend Jerry Holkins from Penny Arcade did one about twins, the magnetic twins. We've got all the designers of the Pathfinder Adventure card game contribute. We have Angela Weber did a thing about cats running around your house.
I appreciate that, Angela.
Yeah, my favorite title in the game is Zoe Quinn's "Make America Disintegrate Again," about a politician that goes rampaging, right? So
Terrifying.
yeah, so it's really cool. It's the wackiest thing I've ever been a part of. People came up with the weirdest ideas, and we made them all work. So yeah, that's the game, and it's
Out in October.
due out in October.
Why Widow's Walk?
Well, two reasons. The first is we put a widow's walk on the roof, and we liked that. And then our artist, Ben Oliver, drew this woman on the front. Her name's Magdalena.
She's terrifying.
Yes, and she was like, okay, we're going to make her the symbol of the game, right? And the other reason, a little subtle reason, is that my friend Will Wheaton was a big inspiration for why this game suddenly came back with a vengeance. He made the show Tabletop. It was on it. People were like, that sounds like a good game. They bought lots of copies of it. Kind of inspired Wizards to do another thing. So his initials are WW. The game's initials are WW. Kind of a very subtle reference to the folk, to my friend Will. And but yeah, I mean, it was just the right title for the game. And yeah, I think it's super fun.
Okay.
That is Betrayal at House on the
I
Hill.
want to ask
No,
before we
brilliant.
go off here. Do you want to talk a few minutes about the weird reception that some people have had to this? I'm talking specifically about Anita Sarkeesian and Zoe Quinn being in here.
Oh, yeah.
And people apparently
No.
flipping their shit.
Well,
I'll just say
we have
about
had-
this. Was it expected?
It wasn't.
That you would have.
Yeah,
this
I mean,
kind of
well, it wasn't,
response,
and it
or-
wasn't just them. I mean, it was like everybody on this list caused sudden
Confusion?
reaction. Yeah, it was
Okay.
like that's not a list of accepted game designers, right? Those,
Yeah.
if
And you're like, duh.
Nah, duh.
Yeah.
Exactly. I want people who can tell stories, right?
Right.
I mean, I want people whose job it is to wake up every morning and go, I can come up with something no one has ever thought of before, right?
Yeah.
And so the primary characteristics for people on this list were they had to really love Betrayal. Like, I would ask people, oh, have you ever played my game of Betrayal at House on the Hill? And they'd go, oh yeah, I played it once, it was cool. Like,
Off the
done,
list.
done,
Yeah.
not talking about it anymore. But if they said, that was the game that got me into being a hobby game player, right? Which really happened with Zoe, for example, or Liz Spain, who's one of the developers.
Works with you now.
Yeah, and we hired her for that reason, right?
Love Liz Spain.
And so, those people had so much passion. So that was reason one. The second reason, they had to be my friend, right? Like I had to want to do a thing with them.
Yeah.
And so, I knew Zoe, I knew Anita,
Along with everyone else here.
I knew Pendleton, but we never actually done anything together. And it's not often that you get this sort of artist jam thing, although I try to do it as often as possible.
Yeah.
Where you're just like, I know you're not ever going to be, like I'm not going to go to Anita and say, I want you to be a full-time board game designer. She's not ever going to do that.
Right.
But I say, I just want you to do one thing. Tell me one good story. And she was like, I will do that. And she was so happy to participate. So yeah, I mean, if people have reactions to who my friends are, screw it. You don't have to buy my game. But if you happen to just like really good storytelling and gameplay, I think you're going to have a pretty good experience with this game.
I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
Because again, you're approaching these people as creative individuals
Yeah.
who are involved with creative project, specific parameters for what you're doing.
That's right.
Expand on something that you have loved in the past.
Yeah, I didn't have
and
to
then you
call.
participate in.
I didn't have to call anybody up and said, okay, so you're in a haunted house and you play
Yeah.
one tile at a time, and later you roll some dice and oh my gosh, there's a haunt. Like, I didn't have to do that with any of this.
Yeah.
I would just call up and say, you want to do the next Betrayal at House on the Hill? They say, who do I have to kill to make that happen? And
Okay.
so.
That should have been a hunt.
Yeah, I call these guys.
That's a lot of dead people.
These guys are my murderers row, and they really took to the murder part of it.
I noticed that Eric's name isn't on there. Is that because you two aren't friends?
It's because I never played Betrayal.
Yeah, that's how it
I'll
is.
admit it.
Yeah,
Exclusive.
I haven't played a lot of games.
that's true.
I
But
have played Sausage Party though.
that's true. You are one of the few who's played Sausage Party. Yeah, I mean, and then as soon as we put it out, as soon as we put out the list of the people who, in our little teaser video, a whole bunch of other people who I won't name,
Who are
Or like,
friends,
why
who
aren't we in
playing.
the-
we're like, I like that game too.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, now I know that. Why didn't you ever tell me that in the last 12 years, right? So if we ever get to see
So,
that again, you'll see.
2028.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
12 years
Oh
from
yeah,
now.
seriously.
12 years from now.
Look, I have had people, I swear, come up to me. We were at PaizoCon last weekend. Like, when's the next one coming out? I'm like,
This one isn't even out
this
yet.
this one took me 12 years. I would not plan on it in the next 6 months after this release. But it's really hard to make this game too. But it was super fun. It was a great creative exercise. It made the Lone Shark family grow even bigger, which is always great. And just maybe one of the best set of stories you'll ever play.
All right. Well, that's quite the promise
that
there
is,
on
yeah.
which to end, Mike. I hope it lives up to it.
I hope so too.
Yes, for those people who will play.
Betrayal at House on the Hill, Widow's Walk.
Coming in October.
That's right. Thank you.
Bye.